In this video, I'm going to tell you the top reasons why your trade line isn't reporting to all 3 credit bureaus.
In the face of death, I won't back down. I'm the credit crusader, right? Debts dissolve with my mere gaze, and my ledgers never.
Let's go. That's right. The show is finally back. I know it's been a while since I made a video, but it's clear that the people of the internet, they need me, because I've been seeing a lot of people thinking that they got scammed by trade line companies because their trade line that they bought is only reporting to 1 bureau or only 2 and not 3. In this video, I'm going to clear that all up, because I'm going to tell you the top reasons why your trade line isn't reporting to all 3 credit bureaus. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing, or the first reason why your trade line isn't reporting on all 3, and this is usually the most common reason, it's because the credit reports haven't updated on all 3. The different credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, they're all different businesses. They're different entities. They all don't do the same things at the same time. So chances are, if it's reporting on one, the trade line company did their job. You were added as an authorized user. So now you're just waiting for the credit bureaus to update. So you need to make sure that when you look at your credit monitoring, you make sure that the date at which the credit monitoring or the credit report was pulled, you need to make sure it's the same. Because a lot of times, you're just waiting for it to update on the other bureaus if it's showing up on one. So that's the most common reason. The second most common reason is that the credit monitoring hasn't updated yet. So even if you go check your credit monitoring like Credit Karma, just because you don't see it on Credit Karma, that doesn't mean that it's not on your TransUnion or your Equifax. That means that Credit Karma hasn't updated the score. So what you can do in that case is go ahead and sign up for something like Wallet Hub or try a different credit monitoring, because a lot of times if you look at a different credit monitoring, it will pull a fresh report and you'll see a more accurate, up-to-date shot of your credit. So a lot of people don't understand that. Your credit monitoring is different than the actual bureaus, except when it comes to Experian, because Experian has their own credit monitoring. The bureau has their own credit monitoring. So usually Experian is the most accurate. So a lot of people I know are using Credit Karma because it's free. So if it's not showing up on Credit Karma, but it is showing up on Experian, I would recommend going over to Wallet Hub, make a free account. Everybody loves free, and see if it's there. Another thing you can try to do, which is probably the best thing you could do, is go and sign up for the paid version of Experian, because then you can pull all 3 credit reports right there at Experian, and you'll be able to see whether or not they're actually on your credit profiles, because it usually pulls it right away when you go ahead and pay for the service. So that's the second most common reason. The third, less common, but it does happen, is that the information on your credit profiles are not consistent on all 3. Meaning, you've got a different spelling in the name. You've got a different address. The address is a big one. That's one that I've seen happen a lot, where you'll have one credit profile that's got the name, the address, the birth date as one thing, and then the next credit profile, it's different. And it can be something small, like forgetting to add the apartment number or something like that. It's very important that you have consistent information on all 3 bureaus, because that's how the trade line finds its way onto those reports. The trade line company can't do anything. They can't do anything to disturb a line that's already posting. Meaning, if you have a line that's posting on TransUnion, if they try to change the information to get it to post on Experian or Equifax, it'll stop posting on TransUnion to get over there. They're not going to do that. You didn't get ripped off. It's something that you have to do as a customer, is you need to make sure that your credit reports are consistent on all 3. And that's something you need to do regardless of whether or not you're going to be adding trade lines, because if your information isn't consistent on all 3, that's going to cause you headaches in the future without a doubt. So that's definitely something you need to check if your authorized user trade line isn't reporting to all 3. Another less common reason, but it does happen, is sometimes people will have credit freezes on one credit bureau and not the other. That can stop the line from posting to not all 3 credit bureaus. So it's definitely, if you ever had a credit freeze put on, sometimes credit freezes are put on, without, it's like, how the hell did this happen without your knowledge? It happens from time to time with Experian, that I know that it can happen. What you need to do is make sure that you don't have any credit freezes on those other credit accounts that you have with the bureaus. That way, you know that the line could go there if it needed to, and that's not what's stopping it from posting. Now, another less likely reason, but it does happen from time to time, is people who have credit profile numbers. They try to add trade lines, and they use similar information that's on the credit on the CPN. They use similar information that's on their social security number, like the same address or name, and then the trade line will actually go on the person's real credit. And you'll be like, what the hell, what happened? That's because the profiles merged. That's something that can happen a lot when people are trying to mess with CPNs. They'll go and they'll try to add a trade line to the CPN, but they had a profile that's too similar to the actual credit. And then when they go to post the line, the bureaus get confused, and they'll put like the TransUnion, it'll go on TransUnion for the CPN, but then on the Equifax and Experian, it'll go over to the person's real credit, because it's like, what the hell? We got 2 people with the same shit. That's something that I've seen that happen. So definitely, if there's something that the situation you're in, I definitely would make sure to check to make sure that didn't happen. Another reason, and this is actually I'm seeing this a little more prevalent, is people have credit profiles that don't even have the actual credit bureau. They don't have a tri-merged account. They don't have credit monitoring or even a score with the other bureaus. Like, they'll have a score with, or a profile opened up with TransUnion, but not Equifax and Experian. So when the trade line posts, there was no Equifax or Experian account to post to. So that's one of the biggest things that you can do if you're going to buy authorized user trade lines, is make sure that you actually have reports with all 3 credit bureaus. Because if you don't, the authorized user trade line is not going to open up the file for you. They used to in the past. Synchrony used to be like the king of posting. They used to power post. It doesn't work anymore. That was the only trade line that I can remember that would actually open up a file for you. But those days are over. It doesn't do it anymore. Synchrony doesn't really, it's hard to get them to post now. So you need to make sure that you have a tri-merged credit profile on all 3 credit bureaus. Now let's go over what tri-merged means. For those of you that don't know, tri-merged means that you have the same information on all 3, and you have the same hard inquiry on all 3 credit bureaus. That way you know they're all linked, they're merged together. It's like 3 become 1, because you have all the same information. When they go to add a trade line or you go to open up accounts, it's going to know right where to post. It's not going to get confused. It's very important. You guys all need to remember that all 3 credit bureaus, they're not really talking to each other. They're all different businesses. So it's up to you to make sure they're all consistent if you want this to work smoothly. And another thing I want to go over is there's a lot of people who think that the trade line companies scam them. If a trade line is reporting on one bureau, the trade line company did their job to a T, because it wouldn't report on anything if they didn't. A trade line company cannot say, oh yeah, I'll report here, but don't report there. They can't do that. It doesn't work that way. All the trade line company is doing is taking the information that you gave them and adding you as an authorized user on a credit card to one credit card. They don't pick which bureau it goes to. It doesn't work like that. Okay, so the final reason as to why your trade line may not be reporting to all 3 bureaus is that the actual bank that you're added to, the credit card account you're added to, doesn't report to all 3. Wells Fargo is like the #1 culprit of that. But besides them, I'm pretty sure all the other ones do. HSBC, I think they only report to like 1 when it comes to authorized user trade lines. But all the other ones should report to all 3. So that's a less common reason, but you should know that before you buy, that the certain card will only report to 1 or 2. And honestly, the only 2 that I can think of that are like that are Wells Fargo and HSBC. And I don't even think HSBC is even around anymore. So it's a highly unlikely that that's what's causing it, but it can happen from time to time. But just with those 2 banks. So I hope that helped everybody out. I hope you guys now have a clear understanding as to why your Tradeline isn't reporting to all 3 credit bureaus. You didn't get ripped off. The Tradeline company did their job. It's got something to do with your credit profiles and the information that's on them, not the Tradeline company. They didn't. It's not them. They're don't choke their neck. You know what I mean? Just saying. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Crusader out.
For hundreds of more information-packed videos, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And if you're looking to take your knowledge to the next level, explore my workshops at thecrusadercave.com. I offer entertainment workshops on CPNs, public records, how to get cars, apartments. Hell, I've even got a workshop that shows you how to reassign zombie debt, and so much more. So don't forget to check out thecrusadercave.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Crusader out.